Hello, I am a Bullis student tutor, and in this video we will learn when to use a comma with a coordinating conjunction, and we will also touch on independent and dependent clauses. Commas, coordinating conjunctions, clauses, these may all sound like big complicated words, but by the end of this video I promise you they will be a piece of cake. And if you don't believe me, I have 3 words for you. The imaginary period. It's not real, but it will really help you with your writing. Before we begin, let us indulge in the world of grammar. In this video, I will use the term coordinating conjunction. A coordinating conjunction is a conjunction that connects words, phrases, or independent clauses. If you've ever heard the acronym FANBOYS, those are examples of coordinating conjunctions. FANBOY stands for and, nor, but, or, yet, and so. You will often hear these words connecting other phrases, words, or clauses. So here's the problem. It is hard to know exactly when to use a comma in a sentence with a coordinating conjunction. Look at the 2 sentences below. Sarah loves hot dogs and hamburgers. Ben eats meat and he likes it. In those 2 sentences, we had the coordinating conjunction of and. However, did you notice I chose to use a comma in sentence 2, but not in sentence 1? By the end of this video, we will revisit these sentences to find out why. It's actually really simple to know when to use a comma if you remember this one rule. If a coordinating conjunction connects 2 independent clauses, you should put a comma before the coordinating conjunction. And remember, an independent clause has a subject, a verb, and is a complete thought. So again, let's look at more examples because practice makes perfect. Tommy made a joke and he laughed. So let's take a look at this sentence. Tommy made a joke, our first independent clause, and our coordinating conjunction, he laughed, our second independent clause. Remember, we said an independent clause had a subject, a verb, and it was a complete thought. So, for our first sentence, our subject is Tommy, our verb is made, past tense of to make, and the complete thought is that Tommy made a joke. Now if we go to the second part of this fused sentence, we have a subject, he, referring to Tommy, and then the verb or action is laughed, the past tense of to laugh, and the complete thought was he laughed. So by fusing these 2 independent clauses together, we are able to put a comma in front of the coordinating conjunction. Just to read our next 2 sentences, Mark went to his beach house for the summer, but he left in the fall. Tom studies every day, so he earns good grades. At this point in the video, you can pause and check to see if the commas were used correctly in these 2 next examples. All of the sentences had the correct use of the comma. Each coordinating conjunction connected 2 independent clauses. But what if I were to tell you there was an easy way to know this? You would say the imaginary period. At this point in time, we are now ready to learn how to use the imaginary period. Let's go back to our sentences. Here's how it works. You cover the coordinating conjunction and replace it with an imaginary period. It's called an imaginary period because you're not actually going to keep the period there. It will just help you see whether or not to use a comma. When you cover up the coordinating conjunction, like we have done here, read your 2 new sentences. If they are complete thoughts with a subject and a verb, you are free to use a comma before the coordinating conjunction. Let's read this sentence. Mark went to his beach house for the summer. This is an independent clause and complete thought. He left in the fall. This too is an independent clause and a complete thought. So it looks like we were correct in using our comma before the coordinating conjunction. Let's follow the same method for our next sentence. Tom studies every day, imaginary period. He earns good grades. Tom studies every day. Good, a complete thought. He earns good grades. Again, another independent clause. So we were correct in using a comma here. See? Now you can truly understand how easy it is to know when to use a comma with a coordinating conjunction. But again, let's do a few more practices to make sure we have this concept nailed down tight. So I promised at the beginning of the video that we would come back to the first two example sentences. Sarah loves hot dogs and hamburgers. So let's use our trick with the imaginary period. Sarah loves hot dogs. This is a great independent clause. Hamburgers. Not so much. While we do love hamburgers, this does not qualify as an independent clause. Thus, we were correct at the beginning of not using a comma before a coordinating conjunction. Ben eats meat and he likes it. Ben eats meat, complete thought with a subject and a verb, and he likes it. Makes sense. Looks like we were correct in using a comma before the coordinating conjunction. Alex loves cats, yet he has a pet dog. Oh, Alex, while your pet choosing habits confuse us, it looks like you are correct in creating a fused sentence. Alex loves cats, independent clause, he has a pet dog. Another independent clause. I will go to the pool, wonderful independent clause. Park. A word that does not qualify as an independent clause, so it looks like we were correct in not using a comma before our coordinating conjunction here. Let's all be fanboys of knowing when to correctly use a comma before a coordinating conjunction. And just in case you haven't heard it enough, the imaginary period is your friend because the imaginary period will help you. Imaginary period, imaginary period, imaginary period. Thank you, imaginary period. This has been a Bullis Student Tutors video. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to check out the rest of the videos on our page. Thanks for watching.